I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Friday Face Off, where I take two products that we truly, I'm gonna stop saying beloved, two products in the same category that we really adore, admire. Many of them are highly rated, and I'm just trying to help us decide which of the two are the best. Unlike Coke and Pepsi, which is a debate we will never resolve, I can share with you what my experience is with each of these products and then leave it up to you to decide which of the two is better for you. So far this year, we've covered foundations, mascaras, eyeliners, liquid lipsticks, blush, what else? Primers. They're every other Friday, but you can find all of them listed just down below in my channel page under the Friday Face Off playlist. Today's Face Off is one that I should have done a month ago. Good idea, but it's never too late to find the perfect bronzer for our more mature skin. Matte is not always our friend when it comes to more mature skin, and that can be more dry or combination skin. If you have oily skin, then products that are more matte are usually your best bet. And while having oily skin and dry skin has always been a challenge for me, finally this late in life, it is coming in handy because I am oily, so we can test how products work in oily areas, and I have dry skin on my cheeks, so we can see how well these products work with dry skin. When it comes to bronzers, it can be really confusing if you are somewhat new to makeup. There's cream bronzers and there's powder bronzers. Now, those are not to be confused with contouring. And while the products oftentimes look very similar, contouring and bronzers have two different jobs to do. The bronzer is one that more people want to reach for because it just adds a little bit of color and warmth back to your face after putting a tinted moisturizer or foundation over your whole face, which leaves your face all one tone or one color. So you want to add some warmth back into the skin, which is where your blush and oftentimes your bronzer play a key role. I have on my foundation, which I applied just a few minutes before starting this video. For today's lineup, I really wanted to throw in Milani's bronzer, which is this is their silky matte color, number 3. I used to love this one. I've recommended it several times and I still like it. But for a Friday face off, in order to be a true contender, I just think that the product has to be more inclusive so that more people can really see the value of the product if that's the product that wins. There's no reason putting a product in the Friday Face Off if it's so limited in the number of my viewers that it can reach. This one, unfortunately, only comes in 3 different shades, and the range between those 3 shades is pretty minimal. Sorry, Milani, you can't make the cut. Of all the powder bronzers out there, what do you guys think is one of the best top-selling powder bronzers? If you guessed NARS Laguna, you guessed right. So it made perfect sense that this was in today's Friday Face Off. It comes in 9 shades. They're all Laguna, so it's a little confusing, but there's Laguna 00, all the way up to Laguna 08, which is the darkest end of the spectrum. And the travel size comes in 5 shades. The travel size is $19, and that's the one that I have here. The full-size NARS powder bronzer sells for $40. Now, a couple things to know about the NARS bronzer. It is a finely milled, tack-free powder that blends seamlessly and translucent microspheres, smooth skin texture for a perfected complexion. Sign me up. Silky pigments deliver long-lasting warmth with all-day comfort. NARS claims this has a natural finish, it's long-lasting, and it's good for all skin tones. But for $40 on the full size and $19 for this travel size, is there a bronzer on the market that can work as good as NARS at a fraction of the cost? Well, we're gonna find out. L'Oreal's infallible 24-hour fresh wear soft matte bronzer sells for $15.99 roughly, depending on where you get it. Prices seem to vary between Walmart, Amazon, Target, Ulta, and L'Oreal's website. So just know that it's around $15.99. This bronzer comes in 8 shades, which is not quite as good as NARS, but way better than some of the other ones. L'Oreal says that this gives skin a bronzed, sun-kissed dimension. It's heat-proof, waterproof, sweat-proof, and transfer-proof. Lightweight and natural looking for up to 24 hours. So NARS doesn't define all-day wear by number of hours. They just say all day wear, where L'Oreal claims 24-hour wear. That may be important to you, maybe it's not. At my age, I don't need it to go longer than like 4 or 5 hours. In terms of packaging, with the NARS, you get a nice amount of product. Again, this is the smaller one for $19 versus what you get for $15 with L'Oreal. The NARS bronzer has a mirror on the inside, and so does the L'Oreal. Now, L'Oreal did come with a little brush inside. I threw that away when I first bought this. So if you did need a brush for a bronzer, then this did have one in it. And it wasn't a bad brush, it was just really small. If you have glasses and it's harder for you to see doing your makeup, then a smaller brush like that might actually work better for you. All right, so we're gonna put these bronzers on top of the foundation. Again, I've got oily skin up there and dry skin through the cheeks. So we're gonna see how they wear. I am just using the Sigma Soft Blend 60 brush. This is a typical size brush that I like to use for bronzer. It's not like contour where I'm trying to precisely sculpt out parts of my face. Here, I'm just trying to add a little bit of warmth. With a taper brush, I like to put the product on the side of the brush and twist it around because it's the side of the brush that I want to actually touch my face. So here I'm gonna start just right up through here. My powder bronzer is Laguna 3, just like the cream bronzer is, so that's the one I have. So to bronze, I'm just gonna go around my forehead just to warm that up a little bit. And then I'm gonna avoid my temple area because I wanna keep that as light as possible. I don't need to warm it up. I want light to shine here so that I have more fullness through my face, or at least the appearance of. And then I just like to kind of swoop down in a simple 3. It'll be a 3, a backwards 3 on the other side, just to go kind of through my cheeks and along here, just to give a little bit of warmth to the face. Just by adding that little bit of bronzer, you can see the difference in the warmth of my face. I could stop here, or I could add a little bit of blush. And the best part is you can also use these bronzers to go a little bit in your crease, or if you have hooded eyes, to create a faux crease and give yourself just a nice soft bronze look for summer or any time that you want a makeup, no makeup kind of makeup look. That NARS bronzer blends very easily on top of foundation that's been sitting there. It doesn't grab onto any areas of my skin that maybe I didn't get through the exfoliation process. It just is very easy to blend. It doesn't look patchy. It doesn't look blotchy. So let's see how it holds up over the course of the next 3 or 4 hours in both oily skin and dry skin. Get all that bronzer off so that we're not cross-pollinating onto the L'Oreal side. Same thing, we're just gonna put a little bit of that bronzer right on the edge of the brush. Now, right off the bat, you guys, this bronzer is definitely finely milled. You can see by just touching it a little bit with that taper brush how much of it has already fallen out. So you do need to be a little bit aware of that. It's not as expensive as the other one, but it doesn't mean I want to waste it. I have it in color 350. It's a really pretty color. You can see how nicely this one blends also into the skin or the foundation, depending on what you have underneath it. It's a really close color to this Laguna 3, which is great because I have stuff to do today. And who wants to see a makeup person do makeup? My face is 2 different colors. This one blends out nicely also. I can't say it blends out as easily as the NARS, but it does blend out as smooth. You just have to take a little bit more time with it. And this is exactly why I keep reaching for this Infallible by L'Oreal. That is just such a pretty, natural, warm, sun-kissed type glow without looking, dare I say, cakey or dry. It's matte, so you wouldn't want to put it over your whole face. I'm more dry through here, so I don't want to put my bronzer on my whole cheek or the whole side of my face because I want my natural, whatever shininess I can get from my dry skin through here and here, I want that to show through. I don't want to matte down this whole side of my face. So that's why a brush like this that gathers the product lightly is a perfect bronze brush because you're not painting your face with this bronzer. You're really just wanting a light dusting so that you can allow the healthiness of your own skin to come through. Well, I don't know, you guys, this is gonna be a tough call. I think they both look really pretty. Neither one of them look patchy. Both of these powder bronzers went on through the application process flawlessly. They're both beautiful. So I guess the real telltale sign will be how do they look in about 4 to 5 hours. I'll check in with you guys and we'll see. All right, welcome back, you guys. It has been 6 hours and 45 minutes. I know, couldn't I have just waited the extra 15 minutes to make it a full 7 hours? No, I tried. I really tried, and my energy level was going. So I thought, let's just get this going so that we can get a good honest review while I still have the energy to actually look and see how things are falling or holding or not. As a reminder, NARS Laguna number 3 is on this side, and L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer number 350 is on this side. I'm definitely more shiny up through here. As I shared with you guys before, I'm oily in the T-zone. I'm not as shiny on my cheeks, but still a little bit shiny. Now let's talk about what these bronzers have been through since we last saw each other. They have been out in the sun. I did a little bit of sweating. They both said they're sweat proof. I went for a brisk walk. I didn't run today. And I have had a hat on for about 25 to 30 minutes during a photo shoot, so there should be a little bit of wear, although L'Oreal says it is transfer proof. Let's zoom in and take a look. I can still see a little bit of the NARS through here, but it is definitely significantly less than 6.5 hours ago. It looks a little bit patchy in some areas. Again, my hair has been down on it, I've been in the wind, and I had a hat on for, less than a half an hour. Looking at where my skin is more dry, I definitely feel as though the bronzer has stayed in place. It still looks there. It doesn't look patchy. It doesn't look blotchy. It's worn pretty evenly in that area. And then remember the last part was our jawline, and that still looks pretty much intact. It doesn't look blotchy. It doesn't look like it's separated, and my skin doesn't look cakey right around where we put that bronzer. All in all, I think it's okay. I don't think it wore as well on the oily parts of my face as it did on the non-oily parts. The L'Oreal side, similar to the NARS side, you can still see some of that bronzer, but it does look patchy, as if the color grabbed to some drier parts of my skin. That's not desirable, but I don't see where it did that down here or here. That line is still definitely there. It almost looks as though right through here is where the brim of my hat was, because that's where it's worn off on both sides. So is L'Oreal transfer proof as it says? I don't know that I can say that. In these dry areas, I don't know that I can see that one has worn any better than the other. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave me a comment if you think one side wore better in the dry areas. I guess the question is, does one side look as though it is worth $25 more than the other side? And if you wanted to buy a powder bronzer, do you want to spend up to $40 for one? That's certainly a question that only you can answer. For me, I think they both look pretty. I would probably have touched up my makeup somewhere in the day. So the fact that this one didn't last all day is okay with me, especially given that price point. So while the NARS powder bronzer looks to still be almost intact from where we started it this morning, I will still reach for this one because the difference in the way the two wore doesn't justify a $25 price point. And if I'm gonna spend $40 on a makeup item, I think I'd rather it be for a good foundation. So for me, in my unsponsored opinion, the L'Oreal Infallible is gonna be my choice. Let me know in the comments which one you guys like better. That does it for today's Friday Face Off. Let me know what other products and categories you guys would like to see in the Friday Face Off. We still have a lot of time left in this year, and I'm gathering products as we speak. So be sure to let me know what 2 products you've been wondering about, and we'll see if we can't get them in a Friday Face Off for you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.